Hi, this is Luke from comicsthegathering.com, and welcome to another episode of Fresh Off the Racks for the week of October 18th. This week I'll be reviewing 4 comics. I got one from DC, 2 from Marvel, and 1 from Image Comics. So we'll start with Batman the Drowned, a Dark Knight's Metal tie-in, written by Dan Abnett and art by Philip Tan. So here's the cover over here. So this is the 4th in a series of one-shots that tie into the Metal series. You don't have to read them to appreciate the Metal miniseries, but it's kind of fun to look at the origins of all these characters, which are essentially all Bruce Wayne. So they all share the same formula. So this is the 4th one. The first one, so basically what it is it's Bruce Wayne in another DCU Earth. And then he still becomes Batman, but it's like a twisted version of all JLA members. The first one was Red Death, which was the Flash. The second one was Murder Machine, which was Cyborg. And the third one was Dawnbreaker, which is Green Lantern. So this one is my favorite one so far. This one's interesting because, I say interesting because it's in this DC Earth, the gender roles are reversed. So it's Bryce Wayne, a woman, and then she becomes a Batman, and then sort of like a version of Aquaman, and she fights Aquawoman. So you get the gist of it. So this is a really the artwork's great. I don't really know. I'm not too familiar with Philip Tan, but I've seen his name on a lot of DC covers. So maybe he must have drawn some Aquaman at one point. But it's the artwork's great. Lots of flashy panels, lots of waves and underwater scenes. There's a scene where the city looks like it's been completely submerged underwater, and that's really cool. And so this is a really good one. I love these. So I think there's going to be, I think there's 2 more coming out, or 3 more. So I look forward to the next one. So so if you love these, then there's no reason to not get this one. So that's a good one. Now I've got from Marvel, I have The Incredible Hulk 709. Part of Marvel's new Legacy direction, Return to Planet Hulk Part 1. Written by, it's a tag team of the Gregs. We got Greg Pak and Greg Land. So here's the cover. So, so I haven't collected Hulk in a long time. The last time was when it was Marvel Now, which was I can't remember the name of the series of the Hulk, where the Hulk joins S.H.I.E.L.D. or something. That was a really good series, and then after that's when I quit the Hulk. But so I was curious about this new Hulk. I know it's not Bruce Banner. It's Amadeus Cho, who's the totally awesome Hulk. So I was a little curious, and this is a great starting point, and it's great to revisit the world of Sakaar from Planet Hulk, which is an amazing series. So I picked this up, and right away it starts. The first panel, it's like, doesn't waste any time. It's Amadeus Cho is in space doing some research or something because he's a genius, and then he gets a distress call or some SOS call from a transmission from another world, another planet, and then he goes through a wormhole, lands on Sakaar, and then right away he's confronted by these rebel aliens who recognize him from his last trip to Sakaar, and he's like, no, it's not me, and blah blah blah. And then next thing you know, he ends up in the ring, and not a ring, but a gladiator pit from, and I remember that from Planet Hulk, and he has to fight these crazy warriors, and then there's like the warlord, who's like the main baddie in this, and then looks pretty nice. I mean, Greg Land's always an interesting artist, so he draws these perfect bodies, and the faces look like celebrities, and with perfect teeth. They look like they're in a Colgate commercial, always smiling. And so, I like his artwork. But to tell you the truth, I I'm not. I don't think I'll be continuing this series. It was okay, but what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna wait till the return of Bruce Banner, and then of course, people will say, "Well, Bruce Banner is dead. He's not coming back." But it's Marvel, so you know that he's gonna come back. They never stayed dead for very long in the comics. So if you're into the Totally Awesome Hulk, you might like this. Me, yeah, I'm gonna skip. I'm not gonna continue the series, but keep an eye out for the return of Bruce Banner. Awesome cover though. So my third one is Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man #5, written by Chip Zdarsky. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. And artwork by Adam Kubert. So here's the cover over here. So I gotta say, this is currently my favorite Marvel title. I'm a big Spider-Man fan. Always been. He's my favorite superhero, and I also like Batman a lot. But Spider-Man is, he's the best. So this is a great series. It's not going to go too much into the plot because there's so many plots going on right now. You got Aunt May's around. You got J. Jonah Jameson's back, and he wants to do an interview with Spider-Man because he hates his guts. Nothing changes. And then you got the Tinkerer. You got his younger brother called the Mason, who is like the Tinkerer, but instead of helping villains, he helps heroes with his gadgets and his suits and his tech. And then you have Spider-Man's, Peter Parker's sister, who's not really her sister, but it's a long story. And she's on the run from S.H.I.E.L.D., FBI, CIA, so Peter's trying to protect her. And all sorts of things going on. And then the Vulture, who's involved now. So, great series. It's very fun and campy. Reminds me of old Amazing Spider-Man issues. And great artwork, too. I like Adam Kubert. I think he's the best of the two brothers. Andy Kubert's pretty good, too. But something about Adam's artwork is like, I like the rough edges, and sometimes he does like square-like characters, almost like, it's hard to explain, but big panels, and I love the colors in this too. So yeah, this is a great series, so definitely pick this one up. And then lastly, I have from Image Comics, I have Maestros #1, written and drawn by Steve Skroce, or Skroce. I hope I'm pronouncing that okay. So yeah, here's the cover. Nice cover. Now I got this. I was curious about this one. Not normally into wizards and medieval worlds, things like that, but this looked interesting enough, so I picked it up. Yeah, it's a very colorful, trippy comic. The artwork's amazing. Lots of panels and upside down panels and things with weird aliens or monsters and creatures, and so basically it's a story of like imagine if the Harry Potter world was a rated R world. So, and then the main character Willy, what he is like he's like Doctor Strange if he was self-centered and then sold his spells and his magic tricks for profit, right? If he helps people out, but only if they pay. So he's young and cocky, and then what happened is his story is he's living on Earth because he was banished from his home world of the Maestros, which are basically super powerful wizards. And he's from an elite family, a royal family. His father was a Maestro, but they live in the other world. And then there's a crisis. Starts off like a big massacre. All his family is killed, and his siblings, except for his mother, who makes it. And then she comes back to Earth to fetch him, and then to say that, oh, you're the heir to the throne, and yada yada yada. I thought it was okay. It's there's a scene in there. It's hard to explain, but it's pretty funny. There's the main character Willy. He's on Earth, and he's in a strip club, and he's talking to this oil tycoon, this rich cowboy, and then he's trying to sell him. He sells him a spell that will help his impotence, sort of like mythical Viagra, if you will. And then he helps out the guy, and I can't say what happens. You have to see it to believe it. It's pretty outrageous and funny. So, but all in all, this sort of story and world is not really my bag. I'm not really into the Harry Potter thing or wizards or things like that. But I thought I'd give it a try. I was a little curious. But if you like that sort of thing, you might enjoy it. So yeah, this is Maestro's #1. So that's it for this week. Thanks for watching the show. For more detailed reviews, written reviews of these titles, check out www.comicsthegathering.com. And we have writers, and we have great writers. They write 20 to 25 reviews every week, sometimes more. And so if you... something from DC, Marvel, Dark Horse, Valiant, everything's there, so you might want to check it out. So thanks for tuning in, and then I'll see you next week. Thank you.